Amnesia Fortnight. Slowly I turn, pitch by pitch. I can't remember the rest of that. That could have gone on for longer. So Amnesia Fortnight is when we take a break from what we're doing for 2 weeks, forget what we're working on before, and split the company into small groups, and they each have 2 weeks to make a game. We started doing this in the middle of Brutal Legend because I thought everyone was getting kind of bogged down with, this one game for 4 years, and it'd be great to give everyone a break from that. And also, at that point in the company, I was the only one who got to make their game ideas. Psychonauts and Brutal Legend were mine, and there were other people here who had ideas and other people who wanted to be project lead, and the only way they'd become project lead was if I died, and I didn't want to die, or be killed. So we created Amnesia Fortnight, and we got to test, 4 junior project leaders. It also just generates a lot of ideas that have turned into some of our best games, like Costume Quest and Stacking, Once Upon a Monster, and Iron Brigade. A lot of our games have come from Amnesia Fortnight. Last year, we started a different thing where we actually let the internet vote on which prototype we made, which has been really exciting because people get to see through the documentaries that you guys are doing what it's like to make these games, and they get really invested in which product they want or hope gets made, and they get to watch it then get made in 2 weeks, and then they get to download it and they get to play it, which is crazy because we never have released prototypes before. And some of these portals are like, are you sure you want to release a prototype? Seems kind of raw and rough, but I think people enjoy seeing games in progress, and they seem to like playing games that are kind of broken and not done just because they can see what it's like to make a game, I think. Isa, what can you tell us about what's going on with Amnesia Fortnight?
Oh, Amnesia Fortnight. Things are moving along. We have 28 people who have submitted pitches.
Oh my God. That is 5 more than last year.
It is more.
By my calculations.
And, so the main focus now is listening to all the pitches.
I've heard 3 already. They're fantastic.
Yep. I think that this year, the intro video really captured maybe what it feels like for Tim, because everybody wants to pitch their ideas directly to Tim.
Never been in here.
You haven't ever been in here?
Yeah, I've never been in here.
You have never been in here? That's
yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, we're a really flat company, except for no one comes in my office. Okay, great. So give me the one-liner on your game. Do you have one?
The one-liner is, it's a first-person noir adventure game where you explore your memories, like fractured memories. So you, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
That's okay, that's what we're here to work on.
The one-line pitch is that it is a dim sum dining experience simulator called Dumb Sim. And it has elements combined with...
I got the dumb part right away, but it took me a while to get the sim part. Okay.
It's called Reentry. And it's basically a combination of the movie Gravity and Bionic Commando.
Okay.
So...
All right, how? You should talk about from a high level, like, what is the game? And if you can say it in one sentence, that shows that at least you thought in your head about what the most important thing is for your game. Like, if your most important thing is combat, like I'm doing an exciting action combat game, like that should be clear in your pitch, That's why we talk about things like pillars, just because there's always so many ideas you have for your game, but at some point you have to like pick and choose, and like knowing what the pillars of your game are really important. And so I tried to talk to each person pitching and ask them kind of what their pillars are, like what are really the most essential parts of the game. Give me one line pitch for your game.
You play a...
That's a bad sound to start with.
It was the sound of an explosion, actually.
Here we go. Boom.
Okay, wait. I haven't worked out
play-
the one-line pitch. You play as a potentially despotic ruler right after a revolution. You have to run the country.
And also, it's a good test if they're going to pitch a game if I can't comprehend it. And I can't comprehend a lot of things, but sometimes when people are pitching me a game, I'm like, I still don't know. I still don't know what you're talking about, you know? And so like trying to weed some of that out and get them to like realize they're not explaining their game right is something I try to help them with. What is the, like what would you call the genre of game?
It's like a simulation/adventure game, kind of in the vein of, I guess Papers, Please is the closest comparison, but I don't want it to be pixel art. Like I want it to actually...
Right. I haven't played Papers, Please yet, but I've heard a little bit about it. I'm kind of getting the like thematic things you're talking about. But it makes me kind of confused about what the loop is, what as a player, what are the modules I'm actually going to be, and what are the modules you're actually creating, and what's going to repeat, and what's my inputs on the game and stuff like that.
So essentially, I would pick like a granular pattern.
Sometimes when you're talking to somebody, you realize that oh, the most important thing to them about this game is the customization. So they should talk about that in their pitch because they didn't mention it until like 10 minutes into the pitch. And you'll be able to customize everything. It's like, well, that's, okay, you really should focus that. Your pitch should mention that if it's really your most important thing. All right, fabulous idea for 2014.
Is Steed.
Oh, I like it. It's obviously about horse sex.
It's about not sex.
Oh, okay.
But it is about a horse. So the one-line pitch is that it's a fantasy action game where you are the horse instead of the horse's rider. And you're in a land full of bumbling, kind of inept heroes. And you're kind of almost a taxi service for them. And you're picking up bumbling heroes, taking them to their quests, making sure they don't die along the way.
So it's medieval crazy taxi.
Medieval crazy taxi.
With a horse.
As a horse. Something like that.
Can you kick people to death?
So what?
Can you kick people to death?
You kick goblins and orcs to death.
Nice. Okay. I'm just going to prove this one right off. We're going to bypass the Amnesia Fortnight because I like this idea a lot. Do you have a favorite so far?
Me?
Yeah. I need to remember what they all are. John's was my favorite so far.
I like it, yeah, I do.
Okay, that's actually one of my favorites. Dumb Sim. I just like that title.
I like the title too.
I'm just so glad someone else has to pick.
7 gnomes hack through an undead army in the White Witch's Gnome War.
An immersion narrative game where you play a despotic ruler guiding the future of a post-revolution republic.
Scavengers is League of Legends.
It's important to Double Fine's future in terms of retaining people at Double Fine who are really passionate about making games, so much so that they'll, forget about if they're shy, or forget about if they're nervous, or forget about if they're, oh gosh, I'm an artist, I'm not, could I be a project lead? They get rid of all of that and they just do it, and they create a pitch and they get up in front of the camera and they do it, and it's an anyone can kind of a situation, and they rise to the occasion.
And that's why Derelict will support the Oculus Rift. Of course you will be able to play the game without the Oculus. God, sorry.
I have gotten a little bit of feedback that there's too many pitches, but I also think that because it's so inspiring to people to have that opportunity, I personally wouldn't want to take that away. Also, we did receive 4 pitch videos from Pendleton Ward. They are, and I think that when you watch them, you'll go, wow, these were really done by Pendleton Ward. He comes through in these pitches. I'm really, really excited for everybody to see them.
This is my last pitch. This is the 4th pitch. Right now it's called Little Pink Best Buds. And then they all have some sort of unique prop or trait. These are concepts for them. This guy's tall. This guy's dead. There's flies all over him. This guy can somersault. And then big leg.
I love Adventure Time. It's my favorite thing ever. And got to hang out with him one time down in LA, and then got the idea of putting his voice in the game. And when we're down there talking about that and actually having his voice in the game, we were talking about how much he loves games. He really loves games. And so I thought of Amnesia Fortnight as like a great way for him to just step into a low-risk situation. It's just 2 weeks. It's like a 2-week prototype. It's just for fun, and come on up and do it. And he was into it. I'm trying to remember what he actually said. I think it was, I'm into it.
In the game, when it opens, they'd all be talking to you. Be my best buddy. Hey, be my buddy. I've got a hat. Hey, be my best friend. I've got a dog. He doesn't care about your dog. They start fighting, and then maybe this guy's like, those guys are crazy. Be my friend. I've got a knife. I'll protect you.
Yeah. Yeah, got the videos. They're funny. interesting ideas. Who knows what's going to happen? That seem to be the ideas. When you look at the forum comments, people are just really reacting to like the ideas, the pitches themselves.
And in some cases, I've noticed that, there's lots of votes in between games. In some cases, we're talking 20 votes or 4 votes or something like that between two. So it could just switch at any time.
Top of the world, man. It's awesome. I've been wanting to do this for such a long time. And it's fun that I can come into it only really knowing about what I like in games and story stuff, and I feel like I know how to make stuff funny. And that stuff's important to me. So I'm pitching all this stuff not knowing how difficult it is, which makes it unique, I guess, and I can see people talking about that on the forums. Interactive storytelling is what I'm all about. I love that heightened emotional what's the word, where it just washes over you, that games give you. Because I'm not scared watching scary movies, I'm scared playing scary games, because I'm in the game and I'm making the guy move forward through this scary world. And that in itself is what's the best about games as a storytelling medium.
Are we live?
Oh boy.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming to the Amnesia Fortnight final projects announcement. All right. First finalist is Derek Brand's Mnemonic. Where are you, Derek Brand? Derek Brand's Mnemonic. High-fiving. Congratulations, young man. Stay right here. Wow. Man, you are really popular. I guess so. I've got to start being nicer to you. Okay.
Terrified. Don't want to fuck up, but excited.
Did you ever secretly not want to win?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That crossed my mind. Like that would put take a big weight off my shoulders right now.
Next up, Anna Kipnis, Dear Leader. Yay! Good job. Look at that standing ovation. Look at that, it's amazing. Yeah. I thought Derek was popular, but you got a 2-man standing ovation. So that's pretty good.
Like it's already a lot of pressure to make a game in 2 weeks. Like AF has always been kind of like, pressure's on, guys, make this good. But then in addition to having it be so open is really terrifying. Like it's tough to be in front of a camera, especially during work and stressful situations where I don't know, to show yourself as the monster that you are to the rest of the world, I guess. Yeah.
Let's see what happens for... I'm not familiar with this one. No? No, I'm kidding. Mr. John Burnhelm, Steed. Congratulations. Oh, he brought props. Congratulations. Nice one.
I don't want to be like a bad team lead, but that's part of this process too. I think I've learned a lot from Brad through all the projects I've been with him on here, and learned a lot from Tim by watching the Broken Age videos actually. So it's time to put that in action.
Now, for the special guest slot, the winning game is by Pendleton Ward. Pendleton Ward, everybody. Congratulations. And the internet has voted for Little Pink Best Buds. Yeah. I'm secretly very excited about that one, and I'm a little terrified of that one.
Me too. Oh, do I feel the pressure to... Yeah, man, because this, I pitched, all the other games that I pitched, I thought were commercially viable. And this one isn't. This one isn't. But you know what?
I also think I could be super wrong. I think people voted for this one. I think obviously someone's digging it, and maybe it's gonna be okay. But I don't know. That's the thing about it, is it's questionable. This, out of all the 4 that I pitched, this one's the most. Dang, I can't think out how to say this. It's gonna make me proud. Is what I'm trying to say, because it is so funky.
Because it kind of reminds me of like Seaman and like weird.
Yeah, Seaman's funny.
Yeah.
Seaman's so weird, which is awesome. Seaman is awesome. You know, if we made the zombie one, it's like, it'd be a lot of fun, but would it be as awesome as Seaman? It wouldn't. This one is going to be awesome, so that's a good thing.
Okay, so thanks everybody, and see you tomorrow at 10:30. I mean, you still have to stay here and work, but I mean, bye. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, man. I voted for your game, man.
Oh my God, you're hanging.
Awesome.
I'm an animator.
Cool, yeah.
Hello.
I tell you about like I've had 2 zombie dreams.
Yeah.
And like I wake up and go back to it and I'm like, we got away on a dream. So I'm the same way.
Yeah, I love that.
I voted for that one twice.
Oh, really? You can vote twice?
Well, during
what? Oh, yeah, right.
But no, it's been great because it tests them, like Amnesia Fortnight tests the ideas and the project leaders. So some people just kind of crack up and like fall apart during Amnesia Fortnight. Not so far in our public ones, which would be exciting to watch, wouldn't it be? For the documentary, you guys are probably hoping, who's gonna crack? I mean, you've worked with project leaders before. They're all different, you know what I mean? They have different strengths and weaknesses. And
Think about the ones you really enjoyed working with. And emulate that.
But I would also like to, just as a counterpoint, defend chaos a little bit, because I feel like if you know exactly how your game is going to turn out right now, then the process won't be fun for anybody, and it's not almost even art anymore. If you really know how it's going to, there's got to be some element of like chaos during these next 2 weeks for surprises that come up, but you're like, oh my God, this is so much better than I even thought it would be. Anyway. I feel like I'm saying all this really
And that's the exciting thing, is seeing everybody's input come together to make something greater than anybody can do by themselves. So
yeah.
That's cool.
All right, everybody, hello. Thank you and welcome to Amnesia Fortnight 2014. We are going to have some in-depth pitches from our 4 project leaders, and they are going to tell you all about their games in details and answer your questions.
So a little bit about the game mechanics. For at least for the 2-week prototype, mostly where you're going to be is in this office. You step out onto the balcony, and this is where you can sort of get a sense for like some of the decisions you make, the effect that they have on your nation, and what it will look like. You'll see a vista. It's going to be kind of comedic, but the tragedy and the comedy will go kind of hand in hand. So in other words, I don't want it to be completely farcical without showing kind of the heart and like the tragedy of what can ensue with like really like ridiculous, like you have so much power and some of the decisions you're able to make are so tragic that as to be funny, you know. So it will be playful and entertaining, but at the same time, it's going to have heart. And so the kind of the division I would want it to have is that, although there will certainly be overlap, is that the writing and the situations would provide the satire and the humor, and the visuals, particularly when you go out on the balcony and you kind of see a vista of your nation, would communicate like kind of the heart and soul of what you're doing and your nation and how people feel and like how miserable or happy you're making them and all of that stuff, like kind of the actual impact of the decisions you've made.
So mnemonic, hopefully you've heard the 10-second pitch. It's a game where you can explore and rearrange memories. I'm thinking that some of these memories are not necessarily static. They could be like you're walking around an animated GIF. There's sort of these looping moments of time that you remember. Maybe you have 2 memories, but they're 2 different places. And exploring it when you're younger, you might be 3 feet tall, and you can't see like the tops of the counters and stuff. But then you go to a different memory that is in the same spot, and you're older, and the world is slightly different, and your perspective has changed. And I'm kind of thinking of it as like a surrealist sandbox, like pulling people out of photos and placing them in a scene in other memories. You could also have characters that maybe don't have textures on them. You're just modeling like, a silhouette that talks. So this stuff is I'm totally open for feedback from designers on this stuff, because I'm a concept artist, so I can draw stuff, but getting stuff in game is not really something that I do, and also design, which is something that I don't want to pretend that I know how to do that, because it's really easy to think that you know how things are going to turn out, but if you haven't studied it, it's tricky.
So kind of the main pillars of this game are to kind of look at how can we create mechanics that give you the thrill of being a horse, not riding one. Most games looking at Shadow of the Colossus, Zelda, there's considerable input lag when it comes to driving these horses around, because they're really trying to simulate like, oh, you're pulling the reins, then the horse is understanding that input and then turning. Oftentimes you're having to like hit X to kick the horse and be like, go, giddy up, giddy up. Like that's not, if you were a horse, you wouldn't be feeling that way. You'd just go, you'd move, you'd turn the stick, you would move, you'd be able to do a lot of things. A valid prototype would be to just work on player mechanics and have basically a white box world with solid feeling player mechanics. I mean, there's always stories about Miyamoto working out all of Mario's moves to Mario 64 in a white box world before they even started building the game, And that would be one way to do it, really focus on the player mechanics, like how do we make this horse feel like have really responsive controls, and you could go a completely other way where it's really about establishing character and personality of the horse and the stable boy, and being very mechanic light, like maybe just getting it so you can move the horse through the environment, pick things up, drop things, and have a couple little puzzles involved with that, and then no combat or whatever. So I think those are on the extremes. I'd love to meet somewhere in the middle.
But watching y'all pitch just now, I tried to sort of copy what y'all were doing. So I drew stuff. The world it's just this flat, grassy field, and with a bright blue sky, and there's clouds in the sky, and there's grass, and that's it. And there's a little house, but maybe you can't see that yet. And you see these little pink guys, and they're about this big next to you, and they're all really excited to see you, and they're climbing up your legs. And I think it's important to, you're gonna have a finger, you're gonna have your finger. I think it's important for you to be able to like push these guys off your legs. Or you could say like, get off my legs, and they'll, maybe one will, maybe one won't. I think the point of this game, what's fun about it, is testing the boundaries of the characters and the world by experimenting with what you're typing and what you're asking and how the characters are responding and just feeling everything out. That's the point of it, I think, and that's what's interesting about it. I think you're really nice, he's typing, and then he's like, thank you. And then, do you like King of the Hill? And he's like, what? Like there's gonna be a lot of that. Because when you're playing Facade and you start typing crap, they're like, well, anyway, and then, and I love that. I think that works really well. I just know that it's deceptively simple looking. Like the language parsing stuff is just stuff that I'm now learning about. And I know people talk about how difficult it is, and that's all that I know about it, is that people say it's difficult. Some people have been saying, no, we'll figure it out. But I know that everything is always harder than it seems. So I'm just like, because I'm kind of in the dark a little bit. So I'm excited to step into the light and pick stuff up. I just was talking to Dave, and we were trading lessons on animation and with Maya. He was showing me Maya, and I was showing him Flash. So it's already begun.
One of our watchers made Valentine's based on all 4 project moves. His pen. There's Anna as a TV anchor. John Burnholm.
And Derek.
Derek, handsome people. Look at this.
Isn't that cute?
Cute, and they're little Valentines. This guy's the best. Now we're gonna use them just in time. I mean, we had this all planned out. This is where we decide what team everyone's gonna be on. So, are you all prepared and excited?
Whoa.
Who is your secret admirer? Derek Brand. Okay. Woo! Yeah. Anna, woo! Oh, damn. Oh, yeah! Okay, now whatever, remember, this is the battle to the death. Only one team is left alive at the end. You know the rules. You'll get your random assignment of weapons. And that's the only motivational speech I planned.
Yeah.
Do they need to know anything else? It has begun.
It has begun.